But he's not a complete stranger. We've never met in person, but we have connected online previously. I'm talking about Malorie Jane. Malorie, good morning. Great having you here.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. So now, you're a jazz muso, and so we want to talk a little bit about jazz because we know not everybody's very, I don't know, fluent in their understanding of jazz.
Yeah,
People think,
yeah.
what exactly is it? It's all sometimes a little bit disjointed, and then you get that kind of jazz,
Yeah.
then you get this other kind of jazz. So let's start with a bit of a jazz education.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
So you're going to have to help us out there.
Okay. Yeah. I would say jazz has many different. I would say, how people perceive it to be. So it depends, I guess, on the style of jazz. So jazz comes from the American tradition. Comes from swing and bebop and all those styles, but the style I play, if I say I play jazz and South
Yeah.
African jazz, is mainly influenced by a bit of that and then a bit of South African styles, local styles. And then in the contemporary sense, we also incorporate, like other styles, hip hop, soul, whatever we feel is current and it makes sense for us. But there's always an element of improvisation. I think that's the disjoint part that you spoke about.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, sometimes. And you even pick it up in this song of Malorie Jane's that we're going to play a little bit later on, Open Your Eyes. You've got sort of that offbeat, the drummer comes in every
Yes,
now and again.
yeah.
And I personally, I love that because music always feels like it has to be so structured.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
jazz sort of comes and muddles it up. And that doesn't always sit so nicely with everybody, but it's beautiful because it's so free.
Uncomfortable. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to be creative. I think that's why I like jazz so much. It also opens a bit of space for conversation, musically speaking. So it's not just always the same. There's some space for variation, for bringing your own story, that type of thing.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your story because you're fairly classically trained initially. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, I did study in Pretoria when I studied music. I didn't really realize what jazz was. And when I engaged with it in South African jazz, I realized I loved it. It's sort of passion. It's a calling for me. So coming from a background, not really understanding and knowing jazz and going into jazz, it was quite an adjustment. I think that's probably why people say my music sound a bit different from just a standard South African jazz. But I think it's not exclusive to just people who come from that background. I think that's also nice about South African jazz. It incorporates different people, includes different people. So I came from having sung choir and having listened to like rock, pop, all those styles, a bit of Latin music as well. And then I guess I had this journey going into South African jazz and learning all about that. And I think we always will grow. That's part of the artist's journey as we go. But it's been quite a journey to really find your feet and your sound in that setting.
There seems to be a beautiful appreciation of jazz in South Africa when we've got the Cape Town International Jazz Festival, for example, so well attended, and international artists don't even think twice to want to come through and be a part of it. It's such a wonderful institution.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I also found that we played that there this year, and the South African audience, especially in Cape Town, I find is really supportive. They actually come out to all the festivals. They've come out to, I played at the Table Mountain Jazz Fest. It was packed. It was
Wow.
raining and people were there. Yeah,
That's
they
beautiful.
were, so supportive. So I really appreciate that about our audiences.
Yeah, and a chance for you to travel around the rest of the world to be part of jazz festivals in other places and to take that South African flavor.
That's I would say my next step that I'm leaning in towards, and that I hope to be coming up in the next year or two, to have the real chance to play at festivals overseas as well. I'm starting to make contact with people and in around England and Italy actually.
Oh.
So we'll see what doors are opening, but that's in God's hands at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then probably
Yeah.
the influence of those countries' jazz,
Yeah.
maybe in whatever is going to come out of your pen and out of your
Yes.
piano next.
Yeah, you can't not have everything that you experience and go through in life will probably come out in your compositions.
Yes.
I think it's part of your, and it develops your sound as well. It's part of your expression of life in a way. So it's part of what will probably develop. Yeah, it's exciting to think about that. Yeah.
When we look at the song that we're going to be playing, "Open Your Eyes," not a brand new song, a little bit of a, can we call it a remake, a retake? How would you
Yes.
label it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, remake is a good label for it. I did write it as part of my 24 album, Hold the Stars. And when we started performing it for festivals, it just seemed like there was more. There was more of this momentum in the music. So, and I think that suits the festival style and the sound that we want to go for, or I want to go for. And then I actually just spent time, and I felt like I've never rapped in my life. I didn't think I would do the rap, but I just felt like it was sort of downloaded to me. Like I just found it in a way. I don't know how to express that properly. I think that often happens with composers. You can write and you can work on things, and then sometimes something just clicks.
Yes.
And you write it down, and then I actually wanted to ask someone else to do it, and they were like, "No, you do it.
You can do this.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah."
And I think that's the beautiful thing about music, and especially jazz, with that freedom is. Why not just rap, and why not just stretch yourself a little bit in the middle of that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's space to experiment, and it doesn't define who you'll always be in terms of how you will always sound. It's but it definitely has changed my direction slightly into a bit more stronger, vibrant sound that I love. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And being a believer in Jesus, heading out and playing jazz and like this is music. That's playing everywhere. This is not Christian music for a Christian audience, and that's actually quite a privilege to be able to create music that everybody can enjoy and be uplifted by it.
Yes, and it is a privilege, like you say, to have that platform. But I do believe God has given me the platform and the style of music. Especially my latest album and my latest singles, they've all come from, in my eyes, inspired by God. So yeah, I think he will open the right doors as well. But like you say, I'm still a jazz artist. I still play jazz and jazz festivals and venues. So that is my main, where I'm functioning.
Yeah, let's talk about the song "Open Your Eyes." I mean, that's a bit of a reminder to us that that God's created beautiful things for us to enjoy. We just need to see them.
Yeah, actually take that step. Yeah. For me, I actually wrote it. I think I write most of my music out of experiences with people. It seems that it always comes from people. So I wrote it. I've been walking with a few people just on the verge of breakthrough, and they just need to like open their eyes, just take it, just move forward. And it's sometimes we feel a bit stuck, but there is an open door, and God is providing for us. So just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, you found a lot of success. I mean, we don't always understand all of the awards and all of the things in most music genres. Everyone knows the South African Music Awards, or they know the Grammys or whatever. But there really is a lot of appreciation for artists, even in your genre. And you've been very well appreciated for the work that you've done.
Yeah. I was actually quite surprised at the amount of support there is for young artists in our country, and especially in the jazz industry. And I really appreciate that there are platforms for us to really showcase our music as well. And speak to a sort of wider audience through those type of platforms.
Yeah, and you're quite a prolific songwriter. I mean, you've got a lot of music out there, a lot of songs. I mean, to put together an entire album. These days, you don't often find somebody creating a whole album. You know, there's a single here or a little EP there. I mean, you've really put your heart and soul into creating a lot of music. Yes.
I feel that's my most natural thing to do. I love playing, but I feel like when I compose, it's part of who I am in a way. But it is hard work, like you say, and I think that's it's also a way for me to find a voice in a sense. Sometimes you need to actually do that work to work out the direction you are going in.
And you're also stepping into a new season of life now as well. I mean, that could probably spurn some really great new music as well.
They say it's a creative period. It's very exciting. I'm actually I'm going to have to take some time off now from, I guess, November to January or so, just to spend time with family. It's family time then.
Yes.
But it's exciting. I think it's good, and I think it might be difficult as people try and warn me.
You never really know what it's like to be a parent until you're actually there. People can tell you and give you every book, and they can tell you everything, but until you're holding the baby there and you've got you're seeing it face to face, and it's your own life and your own experiences. And then you also get to the point of saying it's different for you anyway, and you know, it's your beautiful experience that you get to have soon.
Yeah, very soon. So so excited. I'm all for it. Yeah.
And another musician? Maybe, who
Yes.
knows?
Yeah. We are already prepping. Lessons are already.
Because that was your experience. I mean, you grew up in a
Mm.
home full of music. It almost felt
Yeah.
like there was really nowhere else for you to go, really. But I mean, you could have done anything, of course. But I mean, to have such a musical inspiration in your home and that
Yeah.
freedom to enjoy music.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that is something you want to create for your children. It's just a platform to do what they love, but to expose them to a lot of different things. But you're right. My dad, he plays by ear. There's always music playing. And my mum is an artist, so I think the creative side was supported. So obviously I could have done what I wanted, but they were very supportive of me actually going into the arts, which is potentially daunting direction to go into.
But they both understood it well, so they knew
Yeah.
what you were going into.
Yes.
I do have a question about this playing by ear. How does that work? I mean, you could do it too, right? When you initially,
Yes.
when you were younger. How does that even work? I mean, I can't just sit in front of a piano and play something.
I think there's a measure of talent in a way, a measure of what's it name, aanleg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So some people tend to be great at sports or strategic thinking, or some people just tend to gravitate towards music. So I think that sparks interest, and the more interest there is and the more exposure, it cultivates an awareness of just what is it that you are hearing, and then just being able to, what you're hearing, to put that into expressing that on a keyboard or a guitar or singing. I think it's very similar to someone being able to notice what they are seeing and then being able to draw it. It's just it's something like you have to work on it.
Yeah, I think you either have it or you don't have it. I mean,
But
as much
they
as I
are.
love music, if I could sit behind it, I simply can't do that. And I think that's great, makes us all different. So we can really extra appreciate the talent that you have and your ability to create music.
Yes, and I think everybody does have something. You just need to find yours. Yeah.
Mine's not playing anything but That's funny. Now we're looking forward to playing the song from Malorie Jane. We've spoken about it, Open Your Eyes. It's lovely. Malorie, before we go, I know you're taking a bit of a downtime for family for obvious reasons, but like where do you go from here? Is there anything that's sort of bubbling under that's waiting to be released, to be recorded?
Sure. I'm definitely working on new music at the moment, and that will have to wait to be recorded probably next year. But like I've said, I'm putting out my contacts and so on to try and perform overseas soon, maybe next year or so.
Yes.
So that's definitely in the cards for me going forward. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And those who want to follow your journey, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram at Malorie_Jane, and Malorie's with an IE, and then also on Facebook, Malorie.Jane, TikTok, Twitter.
There you go. Malorie Jane. Melorie, Malorie Jane, without the hyphen. Just to that, I noticed that.
Yeah.
There's no hyphen. It's just Malorie Jane. Go and follow her music, and all the music platforms.
Yes, yeah. I'm on all music platforms. So if you're on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, you're welcome to look me up and have a listen. Yeah, and I really hope that you enjoy the music.
So now you want to hear it, I'm sure. So here it is. Oh, quickly, I meant to do this earlier and I just forgot. Can you introduce us to the rest of the band? Just because there's such amazing artists all in their own right.
Yeah. And all based like incredible artists in Cape Town. So on drums it's Shante Phillips. On bass it's Sibusiso Matsamela. On trumpet it's Munib Hermans. And then on saxophone is Jesse Julies.
And just like at any jazz show, you need to have somebody to introduce the band. And that's exactly what we've just done. So now you know it takes more than one.
Yes.
But to be led by Malorie Jane. Open your eyes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, and blessings to your listeners. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thanks for coming all the way from Franschhoek, which really is a great place to be if you're a creative.
Yeah.
Because there'd be a better place.
Yeah.
All right, here's that song. Open your eyes, and I'll greet you on the other side of this.